This is Food Trucker School Podcast, episode 18. Here we go. Hey, what's up, food truckers? My name is Pat Flynn. Thank you so much for joining me today. This is the show. If you are starting a food truck or you already have a food truck, all the information you need to succeed in your business is right here. I am so excited for this episode because I'm happy to announce the brand new How to Start a Food Truck, the Definitive Guide book by the FoodTruckr team. That's right. The FoodTruckr team has been working so hard over the past 3 months putting together the ultimate guide with all the information you need to learn how to start a food truck. And today in this episode, I'm going to be reading a couple passages, the foreword and also the introduction, to give you a taste of what is offered in the book. The book is just incredibly well put together and a lot of bonuses and worksheets to go along with it to help you get started in your food truck journey. So let's get started. I'm going to start with the foreword of the book, which is a recount or a story of my very first experience with a food truck. And then secondly, it'll be followed by the introduction of the book, which will go over the food truck industry in general and what the book can do for you. Now, if you'd like to get your hands on this book, you can easily get it by going to foodtruckr.com/book. Again, that's foodtruckr.com/book. Check it out. Thank you so much for all the support. And for those of you who are already on the wait list, this is just an awesome, awesome day for us. And we just can't wait to see what you think about it and to see all the trucks coming out of those who have been inspired and used the tips and strategies and the guides in the book. Here we go. This is the foreword and then followed by the introduction. Foreword by Pat Flynn. I stared at the clock and it stared right back. 11:25 a.m. Oof. I'd been working like crazy since sunrise to complete my architecture drawings. The design was due to the city by the end of the day, and I was only halfway done. My eyes hurt, my brain hurt, and I was hungry. So hungry. I need food to think, but there's no time. What am I going to do? I decided to ask my buddy Rick to bring me back anything I could stuff down my throat on his way back from lunch, which meant I wasn't going to be eating for another 90 minutes. I couldn't survive that long without doing something, so I grabbed my 4th cup of bad coffee and headed outside for a short walk to recharge my batteries. That offhand decision was about to open my eyes to something amazing. When I made it back to the office, I saw something quite strange. A line of people, 25 deep, waiting for something. As I got closer, I detected the object of their anticipation, a giant white vehicle that sort of resembled a UPS truck creeping into view from the other side of the parking lot. What in the world is this? Why are so many grown adults waiting for a package delivery? That's when I spotted Rick near the front of the line. Me. Yo, what's going on? Rick. Food truck. Want me to get you something? Me. Food truck. What? From where? Rick. Yeah, man. Pam just made an announcement about it. I think they know how busy we all are and called it in. What do you want? They have pretty much any sort of Mexican food you could think of. And most breakfast foods too. I'll get you something. You can pay me back later. Me. Okay, I'll have a burrito, chicken. My curiosity in overdrive, I decided to linger outside and check out this crazy restaurant on wheels. The massive white truck glided up to the curb and came to a gentle stop. It offered no signage or any other indication that it served food, except for a small faded bit of text at the front of the cabin, catering, with a phone number underneath. This is so bizarre. A happy woman wearing a smile ear to ear emerged from the truck and greeted us with a wave and slight head nod. She proceeded to unlatch the truck's 3 side panels, revealing an elaborate menu on the left, as well as a great view of the stainless steel innards of this giant white beast. It was like a magic show in which the magician opens up a special cabinet to reveal how the trick was done. I was mesmerized. And like magic, the woman's 2 colleagues popped into being, working from within the mobile kitchen, turning knobs and prepping cookware for our orders. The happy woman, Rosa, I discovered later, re-entered the truck and began calling for orders, notepad in one hand and a black pen in the other. Savory smoke began billowing out of the truck as order after order was prepared for my colleagues. Each was handed a little ticket with a red number on it after handing cash to Rosa. The sight was spectacular. The smell? Amazing. In seemingly no time at all, the first order was up. 3 street-style carne asada tacos with a carton of fries. Dang, that looks good. Maybe I should have ordered that. Then, the second order. A giant chimichanga, like a deep-fried burrito, doused with red sauce and green sauce, topped with guacamole and sour cream. Wow. Maybe I should have ordered that. My stomach howled expectantly. Boy, was I hungry now. Rick's order came next. A 3-egg breakfast plate with bacon and hash browns, plus my chicken burrito. As Rick handed over the golden burrito, I quickly looked around for some salsa. At that precise moment, I heard a voice from the truck. Rosa, you looking for salsa? Me. Yes, please. She reached out of the truck window and handed me 2 small containers of salsa. You should have seen the smile on my face. A childlike grin beaming with gratitude for the delicious meal I was enjoying by 11:45. I couldn't believe my good luck on a day like today. This is absolutely perfect. As Rick, my colleagues, and I enjoyed our meals in blissful silence back in the break room, I couldn't help but wonder about Rosa and her food truck business. At first, it seemed like the weirdest thing, but over 50 people had clamored to her Meals on Wheels, eager to fork over cash for piping hot tacos, burritos, and the like. It was genius. A truck that served great food to those starving for it anywhere they congregated. The business was beautiful. After inhaling my burrito, I returned to my desk to plow back into my drawings. But just before I did, I paused for a moment to think about whether my work made people smile as much as Rosa's had made me smile. Who was coming to me and standing in line to give me money in exchange for something I was an expert at making? At the time, I was making $15 per hour. Rosa must have left our office building that afternoon with over $500. And who knows where she was going next and who else was about to wait in line to give her money and to thank her for the opportunity to do so. If I had to guess, Rosa made out like a bandit compared to me. That day marked my first experience with a food truck. It was 2006. Food trucks hadn't even become a trend. But thanks to awesome folks like Chef Roy Choi and Koji Barbecue, food trucks have taken the nation and the world by storm. Fueled by an entrepreneurial spirit and love of serving others, to say nothing of a bias toward wonderful food, food truck owners have come to represent all that is possible when you work hard to develop a top-notch product. They have earned my great respect and have become some of my favorite people. I created FoodTruckr because of this admiration. I still think back to all the amazing meals Rosa delivered to me during my time at the architectural firm, all the way up until I was laid off in 2008 as the economy crumbled. From the ashes, I embraced my own inner entrepreneur and launched my own successful business. While it wasn't a food truck, I continued to think of Rosa and her truck and channel that energy into my efforts. This book is dedicated to Rosa and all the amazing food truck owners that will work tirelessly day in and day out, providing delight to hungry customers and fans, and to those who are eagerly waiting to do the same. You are all my heroes. Thank you for the work that you do, or the work that you're about to do. I'm grateful for you. And in full disclosure, I still don't have a food truck business of my own yet. But throughout the years, I've spoken with countless food truck owners and workers, and my FoodTruckr team and I have invested months researching key food truck business subjects, as well as interviewing other food truck professionals. We've done all this to create this guide, which is essentially the resource I want for myself on how to start a food truck business. As the saying goes, your mileage may vary, but I know when it's time for me to start my food truck business, I will have the plan that I need to be successful. If you are ahead of me and ready to start your food truck business now, then get to it. Apply what you learn in this book to build a thriving business. Nothing would bring me more joy than that. Create your truck, your culture, and your own version of happiness for admiring fans. And when you bring your truck to my neighborhood, please let me know so that I can gladly wait in line to pay you for your magical meals that will surely put a big smile on my face. Introduction. From the forums of Rome to Renaissance marketplaces, street food has nourished civilizations for centuries. In some ancient cities, street food was primarily for the poor who didn't have kitchens or stoves in their homes. Throughout American history, food trucks, often called lunch wagons or roach coaches, often catered to cattle herders who were out on the range or blue-collar workers who benefited from the convenience of lunch brought to their work sites. Whether they sold their wares from a small stand or hitched an actual wagon to a horse, street food vendors in all their forms have traditionally served this practical need. Street food is a simple concept after all. People need food, so it only makes sense to sell it in the most accessible places, right outside their homes, right outside their offices, right next to the shops and stores where they're spending their weekends. But today, all of that has changed. No iteration of street food has quite taken a culture by storm in the way that the modern food truck has. Food trucks aren't just popular because they bring food to people who need it. They've become a cultural phenomenon because they offer creative cuisine options that people can't find anywhere else. Of course, it's not just about the food. The food truck craze transcends our physical needs and fulfills some of our most basic emotional desires. In the wake of the largest economic crisis of modern times, the food truck offers entrepreneurs an alternative path. This path is one of freedom, of adventure. It's a road paved with self-determination, potential, and hope. With more and more people seeking careers that nurse their spirits instead of just their bank accounts, the food truck offers opportunities that aren't readily found in your average room of cubicles. Food truck owners serve their communities, set their own schedules, and make real connections with loyal fans. Food truck owners choose their own destinies. Roy Choi and his famous Koji truck set the movement in motion in 2008 with their iconic Korean-Mexican fusion, and the idea of street food as art and culture and opportunity has quickly permeated our consciousness. A 2013 report by the National League of Cities found that the food truck industry brings in approximately $650 million per year. Over the next 5 years, that figure is expected to quadruple, which would make food trucks a $2.7 billion industry. That type of dramatic growth in just a few short years will be impressive to see, though not entirely surprising when you consider how quickly the industry has developed in just a few years since Koji first hit the streets. Since 2008, food truck laws have continually improved around the country. More and more fans have fallen in love with the movement, and hundreds of passionate chefs have become interested in using this vehicle to share their culinary creations. And yet, despite the rising popularity of this craze, there are still very few resources available to entrepreneurs who want to learn how to start their own food trucks. That's where How to Start a Food Truck, the definitive guide, comes in. Our mission here at FoodTruckr is to help everyone in the food truck industry, from experienced truck owners to the aspiring entrepreneurs like you, learn how to take their businesses to the next level. It's not hard to find resources online that can help you start a small restaurant. A quick Google search can point you in the direction of what you need to know before opening a cafe. But food trucks are a different game. The industry is still new enough that it hasn't been studied much by business experts, and all of the advice someone could give you is complicated by the fact that food truck laws are notoriously complex and restrictive. We're passionate about this industry, this community, and this movement, and we're eager to make food truck dreams come true. The book you're listening to right now is the result of months upon months of research on food truck laws from around the country, as well as trends we've observed from studying hundreds of real food truck owners and interviewing many. If you've ever wondered what it really takes to create a menu, buy a food truck, and build a community of true fans, then this is the resource for you. What's on the menu? We'll be covering a lot in our journey together, starting at the very beginning as you decide whether or not a food truck is really right for you and taking you all the way up to your big opening day. This book is packed with heaping entrees of business advice and tasty morsels of industry insight. Here's a look at some of the important questions we'll answer along the way. Is a food truck right for me? How much does it cost to start a food truck? What will you include on your menu? Where can you buy affordable, high-quality ingredients in bulk? What are the food truck laws in my city? Where can you learn about your area's food truck laws? Will you need to rent commercial kitchen space? What health and safety laws do you need to follow? Can I really make a living running a food truck? How can you predict your earnings? When will you start to turn a profit? Where can you get funding for your food truck? Where can I buy a food truck? Should you buy a used food truck or commission a new custom build? How can crowdfunding help you raise money for a truck? How much money do you really need to have in an emergency fund? What do I need to do to make my business official? What kind of insurance should a food truck owner have? How do you register your business with the state? Where do you get licenses and permits to operate in your city? How do I create an appealing brand for my food truck? How do you find your truck's brand identity? Where can you get a professional truck wrap? What kind of web presence does your food truck need to have? What else do I need before my truck can open to the public? What kind of supplies and cooking tools do you need to stock your truck? What are the best payment methods for food trucks to accept? Where can you find reliable employees? How do I find fans for my brand new truck? What kind of advertising is most effective for new food trucks? Can a promotional event bring crowds to your truck on opening day? What are the most important things you need to know before interacting with customers? Food truck owners are some of the most hardworking and committed people we know, and this journey isn't for the weak-willed. You won't learn how to start a food truck in a weekend, and it will take more than a few weeks of work to get your truck up and running. But if you're willing to invest your time, put in the effort, and add a big dollop of passion on top, we know you can make your food truck dream come true. How to listen to this book. How should you listen to this book? We say, slowly. Savor it. Give the flavors of each lesson time to sink in. You'll find that some of the lessons can be accomplished in a single day, but that others will require marathon weeks of research and planning. That's okay. This journey is definitely not a sprint. We know some food truckers who have hit the streets in 6 months' time and others who have taken 2 years to really plan their businesses out before they were ready for opening day. Both paths are equally valid, and we only recommend that you take the amount of time you need to feel confident before committing to buying a food truck before taking your menu out on the road. We recommend that you listen to this book straight through and that you listen to it again once more. Starting a food truck is a major commitment, so it's best to get a sense of what you should expect on this journey before you start making too many official plans. Once you've finished your first listen and you're ready to get down to business, go back and start working on the lessons in order. They're listed chronologically, so you can think of this book as the roadmap that will guide you toward success. With your purchase of How to Start a Food Truck, the definitive guide, you also received a bonus bundle packed with extra articles, worksheets, and lists designed to help you really dig deeper into your business. These add-ons include even more in-depth information on starting and operating a successful food truck, and they'll be incredibly valuable to you as you embark upon this path. Finally, we want you to know that we're always here if you get stuck along the way. You can email us, reach out on Facebook, or say hi on Twitter anytime you have a question. We're always excited to meet aspiring food truck owners, and our team is always here to help. Get ready for the journey of your life. The days when a guy selling homemade tacos outside of a step van seems sketchy are gone, and now people everywhere have embraced the idea that high-quality, sinfully delicious, made-to-order food should be available to everyone, and that it should be served fresh with a smile. Food trucks are no longer just a way to feed your body. They have become a means of nourishing the spirit, and they incite incredible passion in their owners and their fans alike. We invite you to take this journey with us and to see what all the excitement is really about. After all, there's nothing quite like the feeling of an artisanal bacon maple ice cream served up on a hot day, or the scent of carne asada marinating and just waiting to be scooped into a line of crispy hard taco shells. But there's something even more fulfilling about these experiences when they're your creations and your hungry fans lined up outside the window? Can you see them? Mouths agape and eyes bright. Can you hear their eager laughs, their orders punctuated by exclamations of delight? Those can be your fans. That can be your food truck. Let's dig in and learn how to make it happen. Thank you so much again for listening to the first couple sections of our new book, How to Start a Food Truck, The Definitive Guide. There's an audiobook that goes along with it and a couple other bonus worksheets. You can check out all that is being offered at foodtruckr.com/book. Again, that's foodtruckr.com/book. We're doing what we can to help and serve everybody in this industry. Thank you so much for the support, and we'll see you in the next episode of the podcast. Cheers.